In my past life, at the defense system competition, my girlfriend's crush submitted the same program model as I did. My sister, to be named later, see notes, came out to vouch for the crush, saying I was shameless and had plagiarized him. I was cyberbullied by everyone, and even my own parents refused to believe me. They said I was a disgrace and would be better off dead. Eventually, I died of an illness as they wished, and when I opened my eyes, I had been reborn to the day before the competition. This time, I decided to slack off and go abroad, but to my surprise, the crush panicked. I opened my eyes and found myself still in the school lab. Looking up at the clock on the wall, it was already 2 a.m. The lab was still bustling with noise. I glanced at the calendar. There was exactly 1 week left before the deadline for submitting the defense system program. After several sleepless nights in a row, I couldn't resist dozing off in the lab. Tiffany, from my team, came over and patted my shoulder. "Ethan, if you're too tired, go back early and get some rest. You'll be more energetic and your mind will work faster tomorrow." I nodded, finally realizing that I had been reborn. Looking at the flashing cursor on the computer screen, I couldn't help but recall my past life. In my past life, after our team excitedly submitted the defense system to the competition organizers, we were immediately notified that our results were invalid due to plagiarism. A large group of people online pointed out that our design was the same as another team's. A key member of that team would upload his code to an open-source website every time he had an idea, gaining a large following in the process. I was constantly bombarded with insults from his fans. "Shameless. This team actually copied the design written on the open-source website in its entirety. If I had known it was this easy, I would have participated too, and I could have won an award. This team is so brazen, Darren. G to copy so blatantly. These people should be blacklisted from the entire industry. This school isn't any good either. Look at the kind of students they're producing. Still in school and already willing to do anything for money. Who knows how corrupt they'll become when they enter society?" But we didn't believe it. This design was conceived by our entire team. How could a solution thought up by several people so easily coincide with someone else's and be exactly the same? But disbelief was useless. My sister, to be named later, see notes, personally stepped up as an anti-fraud blogger, comparing our code with the victim's line by line. The entire project was like a direct copy-paste. Thinking of this, I quickly went to the open-source website to find the victim's account. The account's profile picture was of a handsome esports player. He already had tens of thousands of followers, and many people were leaving messages calling him their idol. His latest post had just been updated 5 minutes ago. I opened it and broke out in a cold sweat. His latest post shared his design ideas, along with the code. His ideas and code were exactly the same as what I had just finished, without a single difference. I had to wonder if there really was some kind of system in this world. This guy was a sports student from the sports department of our school, named Justin. He was handsome and outgoing, and many people had pursued him before. One of the best career paths for graduates from our school was the TechGen Research Institute, with a starting annual salary of millions. The organizer of this competition was also the TechGen Research Institute. A few days ago, he had posted a flag on the school confessions page, saying he wanted to become a cybersecurity master in 30 days, with the goal of joining the TechGen Research Institute after graduation. Of course, those of us in this major didn't believe it, but his fangirls did, including my girlfriend, Ashley. My Ashley, had praised Justin to me more than once, saying he was handsome and had a six-pack. I was unhappy and wanted to break up to set her free, but she said she only admired him as an idol, and that I was the one she truly wanted to be with. I was foolish back then. Ashley was the daughter of our family's nanny and had grown up with me. She was obedient to me in every way, and I thought she really cherished our relationship. Besides, I also had my flaws. I spent most of my time in the lab, and Ashley always said that the program was my girlfriend, and she was at most a mistress. But I had just discovered a photo of a luxurious hotel on Justin's homepage. The hotel window reflected the silhouettes of 2 girls. One was entirely my sister, to be named later, see notes, and the other only showed a slender arm with a scar on the tiger's mouth. I recognized it as Ashley. From the angle, it was clear that Justin had deliberately revealed my sister, to be named later, see notes, and cropped out Ashley. It seemed that Justin simply didn't fancy her and was using her as a backup. My intuition told me that these strange events were inseparable from Ashley and my sister, to be named later, see notes. But I couldn't understand why my sister, to be named later, see notes, and Ashley would do this, going so far as to wish me dead for an outsider. Moreover, I couldn't figure out how they managed to ensure that Justin always had access to my code firsthand. Could they have tampered with my computer? I immediately wondered if my computer was being monitored, and I quickly checked, but I didn't find anything. Was it really just a coincidence? The main purpose of this defense system competition was to optimize the system, hoping to better defend against foreign hackers from invading and stealing money from users' accounts. However, existing payment systems on the market could already achieve these functions. Thinking of this, I deleted all my previous code. I wrote the code with the most common solutions on the market, and I was curious if Justin would also update these on his page. After doing all this, I went home to sleep. As soon as I got home, my sister, to be named later, see notes, also arrived. As soon as she saw me, she began to sneer. "Oh, isn't this our family's cybersecurity genius? What's wrong, running out of ideas? Is the program design not going smoothly?" My parents always preferred excellent children. Compared to my sister, to be named later, see notes, I was the more excellent one, so my sister, to be named later, see notes, had always been dissatisfied with me. If she had said this to me in my past life, I wouldn't have bothered with her, but now I was on high alert. I was very curious how she knew whether my program design was going smoothly. My program design is going very smoothly. If there are no accidents, I'll still be number one this time. My sister, to be named later, see notes, said definitively, "Humph, you definitely won't be number one this time." Hearing the argument between me and my sister, to be named later, see notes, my dad also came out. My dad ran a small financial company. In my past life, I had excellent grades and always ranked first in every exam. I also loved programming and often participated in these competitions, always winning first place. My dad had always been proud of me, saying I was smart like my sister, to be named later, see notes. I had helped her company optimize many programs, but in my past life, after I was accused of plagiarism, his attitude towards me took a 180-degree turn. He resented me for disgracing him, questioned why I still had the face to live, and why I hadn't died yet. Later, he and my sister, to be named later, see notes, drove me out of the house, leaving me to die alone in the hospital. Thinking of this, I couldn't help but clench my fists. Now, my dad smiled and said, "I believe in my son. My son is like me, always able to get first place. When your system is optimized, I'll replace my company's defense system with the one you made, so I can save face when I talk about it." I tried my best to suppress the unease in my heart, pretending that nothing had happened, and nodded obediently as always. My sister, to be named later, see notes, snorted and went back to her room to sleep, and my dad told me to go to bed early. I agreed verbally, but in reality, as soon as I returned to my room, I immediately began to check if there were any hidden cameras installed, but after searching around, I found nothing. I opened the computer at home again to check Justin's homepage. Justin's post had not been updated. Could it be that I was just being paranoid? If I was being paranoid, then that was even better. I had already figured out how to optimize the system later, and I would start work at the lab tomorrow morning. The next morning, as soon as I entered the lab, I opened Justin's homepage again, but his post was still not updated. It seemed that it really was just a coincidence. I finally felt relieved and could start working hard. I didn't even eat lunch. The more code I wrote, the more excited I became. In the afternoon, the code finally ran successfully. I stretched my back, looking at the screen full of my code, and a sense of accomplishment arose spontaneously. Tiffany saw that I had finally finished and was very excited. "Ethan, has the program been run? You're amazing. What do you want to eat? Let's celebrate today." But I was still drumming in my heart, afraid that Justin would cause some trouble. "Anything is fine, just grab a quick bite." Tiffany nodded. After Tiffany left, I opened Justin's homepage again, and I unbelievably discovered that his latest post was the code that I had just run. I refreshed the page repeatedly, afraid that I was hallucinating. Just as I refreshed the page for the 5th time, Justin posted another post, and the content of the post shocked me. The post was a PH photo, and the content of the photo was my computer screen, and on the screen was the web page I was browsing of his posts. He captioned it, "I never thought that I would be followed by a competition master. I'm really looking forward to your design." This photo was clearly taken by someone in our lab, and I broke out in a cold sweat. I looked back in a panic, but everyone was looking down and busy with their own work, and I couldn't tell who it was at all. The number of comments under his post was rising wildly. Who is this? Is this the bookworm who only knows how to hang out in the library and school lab every day? He completely relies on hard work and can't be compared with a genius like our idol. I heard that he is also participating in the defense system competition this time. Don't post your design ideas in code anymore. Be careful of being used by someone with ulterior motives. No wonder I was hammered to death in my past life. It turned out that I was already surrounded on all sides. Ethan, food is here. Why do you look so restless? It was Tiffany who bought the food back. I'm fine, it's just I've been a little tired recently. After swallowing a big mouthful of rice, I seemed to come back to life again. I made a difficult decision. Since no one wanted me to win, then I would withdraw from the competition. It was important to save my life. With my ability, even if I withdrew from the competition, I could still enter a very good company. Thinking of this, I went to Tiffany alone to discuss it. Tiffany persuaded me a few times, but seeing that my attitude was firm, although she was sorry, she finally agreed. Tiffany hugged me and told me to get some rest. I immediately booked a ticket, planning to go to Thailand to relax first. But at this moment, Ashley called me, and he sounded anxious on the phone. "I heard from people on your team that you're going to withdraw from the competition." I instantly felt a chill down my spine. Who did you are that from? I had just finished talking to Tiffany, and the people on our own team didn't necessarily know yet, but he already knew. Ashley didn't answer my question, but instead blamed me frantically. "How can you be so irresponsible? This kind of large-scale competition values teamwork the most. You said you would withdraw from the competition. Have you thought about what the others in the team would think?" "Ashley, have you ever cared about what I think?" Ashley choked. "What do you think?" "I think we should break up." After saying this, I immediately hung up the phone. I was physically and mentally exhausted during this time, and I didn't want to have anything to do with him anymore. I packed my things and walked away. As soon as I got to the door, I saw Ashley, Justin, and the people on their team rushing towards me. Justin's expression was very anxious. "Ethan, did you misunderstand Ashley and me? There's really nothing between us. Please continue to participate in the competition. I really want to compete with you fairly." Ashley said reluctantly. "Ethan, don't be childish. Continue the competition. I'll accompany you in the future, okay? Besides, you've been with me for so many years. Who else would want you after we break up?" I sneered. "What's wrong? Do you even want to control my breaking up and withdrawing from the competition?" The people on Justin's team whispered. Did he see Justin's design ideas in code and think he couldn't win at all, so he chose to withdraw from the competition? I think so. Like our Justin, who is talented, he can succeed as long as he works hard. I ignored all these words. I bypassed them and went directly to the airport. The cyber violence I suffered in my past life was much more serious than now. I lived nervously every day, and I would be spat on in the street. As soon as I got to the airport, my dad's phone call came. He didn't ask anything and started scolding me. "Ethan, I heard that you withdrew from he competition? How can you desert at the last minute? Do you know how many people I've told that you're the champion of this competition? You quickly come back to the competition for me." It was like this again. My dad's face was always more important than anything else. I was too lazy to explain a word. The bonuses I've won in competitions over the years were enough for me to live it up for a while. The plane arrived smoothly in Phuket. When I arrived at the beach and saw the waves and sunshine, my body and mind were happy and relaxed. I sunbathed, drank coconut juice every day, and lived as happily as I could. I didn't have to stay up late thinking about designs and modifying bugs, and I didn't have to nervously stare at Justin's homepage to see what he had updated. One evening, I suddenly received a call from Tiffany. She saw that there were some problems with the code I had originally designed. If it faced a small number of attacks, the system would be completely fine, but if the number of attacks was large, the system might crash. Hackers could take the opportunity to steal money from users' accounts, which was a big risk. Therefore, in actual combat, my code could not be directly used and needed to be supplemented with some additional processing. I told her an idea, and Tiffany was enlightened after hearing it. After hanging up the phone, I started browsing the news again, and I saw that my dad had recognized Justin as his godson. My dad once said that he loved talent, and it was true. His son must be the first, and if his biological son couldn't do it, then he would recognize a godson. In the news, my sister, to be named later, see notes, also said that Justin had made the most awesome defense system in the world, and our family's financial software would be updated and upgraded soon. I curiously turned on the computer and peeked at Justin's homepage like a thief. His latest post was full of excitement. I have completely figured out the competition, th. E-code is as follows: welcome everyone to give guidance. Below were all praises for how great the idol was. I carefully looked at his, which was exactly the same as the idea I had given to Tiffany. I felt a chill down my spine. Could it be that I had suspected the wrong person, and the code was leaked by Tiffany? But why would she do that? My mind was very confused, and I decided to go to the surrounding temples to pray. As soon as I got to the temple, my sister, to be named later, see notes, phone call came, and she urged me anxiously, Ethan, quickly check our family's payment system. Many users have been calling to complain that the money in their accounts is suddenly gone. I secretly went in to check, and the loss was about 500 billion. 5, I sneered, haven't you already joined forces with Justin? With Justin, this genius, do you still need to find me to fix the system? Ethan, how can you talk to your sister, to be named later, see notes, like that? You quickly get back here for me. The phone changed to my dad again, and listening to my dad's roar, I finally understood that my sister, to be named later, see notes, and I were always different. I had to be excellent for my dad to like me, but my sister, to be named later, see notes, didn't need to be. She was my dad's little cotton-padded jacket, the eldest daughter. Although my sister, to be named later, see notes, had always been doing nothing serious, she was the general manager of the company as soon as she graduated. My dad always said that he loved me the most, but in reality, he had always hoped that I could safely assist my sister, to be named later, see notes. Since that was the case, they should live well with their godson. I cruelly hung up the phone, but my head suddenly hurt so badly as if it had been hit hard. I was in so much pain that I was sweating profusely, and I curled up into a ball and fell uncontrollably to the ground, watching my consciousness gradually dissipate in front of the hall full of gods and Buddhas. In a daze, I saw a monk walking towards me. When I woke up again, I was in the guest room of the temple, and my head was still throbbing with pain. I glanced at my phone, and it had been bombarded with calls. There were calls from my sister, to be named later, see notes, and my dad, as well as from Ashley and Tiffany. I swiped through social media again. I found that the headline on the trending searches was that our family's financial system had problems, and my dad's company was facing the risk of bankruptcy. I closed my phone. That was my dad and my sister, to be named later, see notes, company, not mine. I just wanted to find out why my head hurt. After I went out, I saw the monk who saved me watering the flowers. I bowed to the monk and expressed my gratitude to him for saving me. The monk's eyes were sharp as if he could see through everything, and he nodded slightly to me as a return gift. Young man, don't worry too much, young man has good fortune. Since God is willing to give the young man another chance, then the ending will definitely not disappoint the young man, as long as the young man keeps his heart right. I was shocked. This monk had actually seen that I was reborn. I hurriedly opened my mouth. Master, since you can see that I am reborn, can you explain my doubts? Why can someone have the same thoughts as me, as if we have a telepathy, and why does my head hurt? The monk smiled indifferently. I think the young man has found the wrong person. Headaches should go to the hospital to find a doctor. After he finished speaking, he left without looking back. I didn't understand what kind of medicine this old monk was selling in his gourd, but what he said was right. Headaches should indeed go to the hospital to find a doctor. I found the nearest hospital and the doctor arranged a CT scan for me. When I was doing the CT scan, I saw the doctor in the CT operating room calling several doctors over. I felt a Thursday D in my heart, and I was done for. Could it be that I had contracted some incurable disease? After coming out of the CT room, the doctor pointed to my film and showed it to me. Look at this place, there is this thing in your head, and we initially judged that it should have been put in after birth, so have you had any head surgery before? I was stunned. I have never had any head surgery. The doctor shook his head. That's impossible. So many of us doctors have seen it, and the result will not be wrong. This thing must have been put in after birth. Even if head surgery recovers, it will take some time to recover. It was impossible for me not to have any memories. The doctor looked at my expression as if I wasn't lying, and he continued to point to me. Look at this thing, there is a place similar to a grab handle here. This may be the reason for your recent headaches. So, it's it grabbing my brain that's causing my headache? It looks like that. As for what you said before, someone can have telepathy with you and know exactly what you're thinking. It may also be related to this thing. But now that this thing hasn't been taken out, we can't draw conclusions. The doctor suggested that I immediately find out where this thing in my brain came from. It can now automatically stretch out its claws to grab your brain, so it may also take your life at any time. I nodded to show that I knew. 6. After coming out of the hospital, I clenched my phone tightly. I was waiting for a phone call. I wasn't sure whether it was my sister, to be named later, see notes, or Ashley or Tiffany who did it, but since this person went to great lengths to transplant such a thing into my brain, then he must want to get something from me. I sat on a park bench, looking suspiciously at the pedestrians on the road. I thought that since this person could monitor my thoughts at all times, would they have already come to Phuket? My phone finally rang, and the person calling was my sist. R, to be named later, see notes. My family's company was about to go bankrupt, but my sister, to be named later, see notes, S voice was full of pride. Ethan, how does it feel to have a splitting headache? I clenched the phone in my hand. Did you install the tracking device in my head? Why did you do this? My sister, to be named later, see notes, laughed, and her next words were heartbreaking. I don't have that kind of brain. It's our dad who thought you were smart, so he came up with this way to control you. If you are obedient and always be my right-hand man, then you will be fine for the rest of your life, but if you are disobedient and want to do something, then I will definitely crush your head. So they had already known that I was reborn. But I still didn't understand. But why did you let Justin copy my code and accuse me of cheating? Because I'm annoyed that you always look down on everyone, as if you are the only smart person in this world, and everyone else is an idiot. So you teamed up with Ashley and Tiffany to set up this trap for me? Yes. Don't you think you're smart? I'll let everyone around you treat you like an idiot, and see who's smart. My voice trembled uncontrollably. I never thought I was smart, and I never wanted to compete with you for anything. I just wanted to have a job of my own and live a good life. Humph. You want to compete? It's a pity that you're not promising. From the moment Mom was pregnant, I started to worry, afraid that you would be a boy and compete with me for the family property in the future, but you were really a boy. Dad has always said that I am the eldest daughter and he loves me the most, but you have become so smart that you are annoying, and you are always number one in every exam, and with your contrast, Dad scolds me for being as stupid as a pig every time. So I must prove myself. Disagreements between children are mostly due to the lack of virtue of the elders. You should hate Dad. Why do you have to hate me? And now you've already won, you can just kill me. Why are you dawdling so much with me? Shut up. I didn't expect you to be able to control your thoughts. You deceived Tiffany and let Justin copy the wrong code. It caused all the money in our users' accounts to be taken away by hackers. If you want to live, quickly get the money back for me. Otherwise, I'll blow your brain directly into tofu brains. Faced with my sister, to be named later, see notes, as hysteria, I was unusually calm. I have now seen through it. There is no one around me who truly loves me. Everyone is deceiving me. Sister, to be named later, see notes, I don't want to live anymore. There's no point in me living. My sister, to be named later, see notes, obviously didn't expect that I would think like this. She was choked, and she was even a little anxious. But you're smart. If you win this competition, you can enter the Tech Gen Research Institute you've been dreaming of, with an annual salary of millions. As long as you don't go against me, I guarantee you'll be fine for the rest of your life. Isn't that good? I'm tired, and I've already withdrawn from the competition, and besides, you guys got Justin to frame me. I can't win at all. And people can't live only for money, so I'd rather die. My sister, to be named later, see notes, wanted to continue to persuade me, but I immediately interrupted her. Dad has always been strict with me since I was a child. Since I was in elementary school, I haven't slept more than 5 hours a day, and I only have this last bit of time left, and I want to sleep more. After saying this, I immediately hung up the phone, closed my eyes, and forced myself to empty my brain. I had already discovered the pattern. As long as I didn't think, say, or do anything, they wouldn't be able to analyze what I wanted to do. 7. I made sure that my brain was completely empty, and then I went back to the hospital at a leisurely pace to find the doctor. The doctor was a little surprised to see me come back. "Why are you back again?" I didn't speak. The doctor noticed that I was not quite right. He walked closer to me, pried open my eyelids, and carefully checked if I had any abnormalities. I shook my head gently. The doctor pondered slightly. "Are you trying to say that there is nothing wrong with your body?" I nodded gently. "Then you don't want the other party to know what you're thinking or what you're doing?" I nodded again. "Then what do you want to do by returning to the hospital? Do you want us to help you take the thing out?" I nodded again. "But if the other party finds out that you're going to have surgery to take the thing out, won't they kill you?" I shook my head. I estimated that my sister, to be named later, see notes, was now busy thinking of ways to deal with the bankruptcy, and by the way, let me rekindle the hope of living. As long as the user's money is not recovered for a day, I am safe. The doctor was very interested in the thing in my brain, and he seemed very excited when he heard that I agreed to the surgery. He asked the nurse to call a large group of doctors to consult for me and help me determine the surgical. Finally, it was determined that I could have surgery tomorrow morning. Before leaving, I said to the doctor, "Doctor, I want to sleep. Please prescribe some sleeping pills for me." The doctor was a little surprised, and then he reacted, "Have you been having insomnia recently?" "Yes, I have been having insomnia recently. I need to get a good night's sleep." The phone in my pocket vibrated wildly, and when I took it out, it was indeed my sister, to be named later, see notes. She had already discovered that I had bought sleeping pills. She guessed that I wanted to buy sleeping pills to commit suicide. I immediately hung up the phone and followed the nurse to the ward. I asked for water and quickly swallowed the sleeping pills. The phone vibrated again. This time it was Ashley. I answered the phone because I really wanted to hear her begging me, "Ethan, where are you? I beg you, please help Justin. Your sister, to be named later, see notes, wants him to pay double the compensation for the loss. That's 100 billion. How can I help? Help call the police." "Sorry, I'm a little busy right now." After saying this, I hung up the phone, and then I fell into a long sleep. I would have a good sleep tonight, but my sister, to be named later, see notes, shouldn't have time to sleep tonight. She would turn Thailand upside down to find me. As long as I sleep deep enough and my brain goes blank, over time they will think I am really dead. Tomorrow morning, the doctor will directly push me into the operating room for surgery. Hopefully everything will go smoothly. When I woke up again, the doctor congratulated me on the successful surgery and the thing in my brain had been successfully removed. I was bored lying down and started browsing the trending searches on my phone. The news that I was suspected of dying in Phuket had already rushed to the top of the trending searches. Below was a video of my sister, to be named later, see notes, saying to the media with red eyes that I had come to Thailand alone for tourism and had lost contact with my family for more than 48 hours. If anyone saw me, please contact her as soon as possible. She attributed the cause of my coming to Thailand alone for tourism to being dumped by a scumbag and being in a bad mood before running away from home, and I already had suicidal tendencies when I left. She said that she had already taught Ashley a lesson and hoped that I would come home soon. The media was very sympathetic to her, praising her as a good sister, to be named later, see notes, who was beautiful and kind-hearted, and also said that it was a pity that I was a love brain, and Ashley's whole family had been dug up. Everyone scolded her as a cheating woman, and my sister, to be named later, see notes, found some one to break one of her legs and made her mute, probably because she was afraid that she would say something she shouldn't. My sister, to be named later, see notes, also hired search and rescue personnel to search in the Andaman Sea in a fake way. She was really putting on a full show, and her family was already unable to make ends meet, but she was still spending money recklessly. I touched my face. What a blunder! I should have gotten a makeover when they took that thing out of my brain. I refreshed Justin's page again. His posts were now filled with insults. Humph. A sports jock who doesn't even work out properly pretending to be a cybersecurity master. He's got a messed up personal life. He's kept by a sugar mama and still hits on my girlfriend. He's a total scumbag. Someone even posted a photo of my sister, to be named later, see notes, picking him up from school in a Maybach. There was also that photo of the luxury hotel, with my sister, to be named later, see notes, as silhouette circled on the window. People combined this with the recent issues at my family's company and cursed my sister, to be named later, see notes, for getting what she deserved. I wondered how angry my dad would be when he saw all this. The thought of their anger made me feel great, which helped me recover even faster. But the fact that I was still alive was eventually discovered by my dad. My sister, to be named later, see notes, was right, I did get my brains from him. He sent Tiffany, who started crying as soon as she saw me, repeatedly apologizing. Ethan, I'm not asking you to forgive me, but please forgive your dad, okay? Your dad has been through so much, and he's doing it all for the family. No matter how foolish my sister, to be named later, see notes, is, she's still my sister, to be named later, see notes. I was completely disappointed. Even after my sister, to be named later, see notes, had caused so much trouble, my dad still wouldn't give up on her. With my sister, to be named later, see notes, SP Brain, she'd bankrupt the company in minutes if it were handed to her. Oh wait, it's already bankrupt, and the family's about to go bust. Tiffany cried even harder when she heard that. Ethan, you're my sister, to be named later, see notes, is indeed a piece of garbage, and your dad said he wanted to beat her to death. But she's still my dad's biological daughter, my sister, to be named later, see notes, right? So my dad can't bear to part with her, and she's still going to take over my dad's business in the future. Tiffany smiled and interrupted me. Of course not. Your dad isn't that stupid. I'm pregnant, with a girl, and I'm already 24 weeks along. The baby is my dad's? I was stunned. Of course. Your dad said your mom was just a pretty face, only good for looks, and you're my sister, to be named later, see notes, turned out just like her, pretty but useless. I'm so smart, so the child I give birth to will be smart too. So don't worry, my daughter will take over your dad's company in the future, and she definitely won't disappoint you like you're my sister, to be named later, see notes, did. It took me a long time to process everything. I couldn't accept that my former best friend had betrayed me and was now going to have a child with my dad. Tiffany saw that I was stunned and quickly came over to shake my arm, just like she used to do in school when she encountered a bug and asked me to help her fix it. You're going to be a big brother. Aren't you happy? There won't be that annoying my sister, to be named later, see notes, and the family anymore, just the four of us. Ethan, don't worry, the one in my belly is going to be a genius, and they'll definitely make our whole family live a good life. I pulled my arm away. I didn't understand why she thought I would be happy, but after calming down, I realized that none of this seemed to have anything to do with me. I never won. Ted the family fortune, and of course, I never thought about helping them recover the money that was hacked away. I said coldly, congratulations. I knew you'd be happy for me, so please help your dad and get all the money back. I shook my head. Tiffany, you know that my dad has high IQ requirements for his children. If the child has to be a genius, then the mother of the child must first be a genius. You've seen my dad's abilities. He can get you pregnant, and he can get other women pregnant. Now that my dad's company is in crisis, it's a good opportunity for you to show off. So why don't you help him resolve the crisis? That way, the status of the child in your belly will be secure. Tiffany looked embarrassed. But you know I'm not very good. I can't solve such complex problems at all. Can't we be like we used to be? You do the work, and I'll copy. Of course. We were admitted to the computer science department together, and she was also very smart, but her mind was always on finding a rich second generation, and she never studied properly. We used to be friends, and I always carried her during competitions, doing the work of 2 people by myself. I didn't expect her to betray me so thoroughly. I used my skills to disguise myself as a hacker and stole all the remaining money from the family's account. Then I hacked into the system and hard-coded several user data entries in the backend that were being tested. Tiffany ran the code as I told her, and the users excitedly said that the money had been returned by the hacker. Tiffany was very excited. To be honest, I had previously discovered that your dad was looking for high-quality female genes from major universities, and I was always worried about my unstable position, so I chose to betray you. Now it's great. Your dad must be super excited about the birth of our child. I nodded. That's good. From now on, you're my only good friend. After doing all this, I said I wanted to go to the bathroom. Tiffany W. as still immersed in her excitement and didn't pay any attention to me. I secretly ran away, straight to the airport, and then I started my life as a rich guy traveling around the world. An hour later, I saw my family trending again, saying that customers could see the money in their accounts, but couldn't withdraw it. Customers had already reported the situation to the financial regulatory authorities, and a large number of police officers were investigating my home, but unfortunately, my family didn't have a penny left at this time. The customers' money had also been stolen by hackers, and the money in the accounts was all just numbers. An hour later, the money in all user accounts was zeroed out. By this point, all of my family's users had discovered that their savings were gone. My family's debts were enough to bankrupt a country. My dad couldn't face it and ultimately chose to commit suicide. I don't know the fate of Tiffany and that child, but it wouldn't be good. At that time, I had already run to Iceland to see the northern lights. From now on, I would be a lonely rich man. The thought of it made life seem full of hope.